Good morning, New York. This is that greedy vagabond, the king of the streets, the Honorable Mal Cross. This morning, I want you to watch carefully and find out why we heartily recommend that you give up cigarettes. Now, that's what I call a bad habit.
Good morning, New York. On today's show, we're going to find out who's naughty and nice and why it's a good excuse to have a party. And we'll continue our series on looking and feeling good and find out the key to a healthy heart rate. Shopping for the perfect winter coat, consumer reporter Phyllis Eliasberg will show us how to buy one that's practical and attractive, too. And we'll meet a performer who's been starring on Broadway for years and who's never seen a show. All this and more on today's Good Morning, New York.
Doug, I've seen you in stranger outfits, and I got this wearing
Good morning. How are you? How are you?
If you've ever gone to a Broadway play, then the chances are pretty good that you've seen our next guest. It's not that he stars in Broadway plays. You might say he stars outside of Broadway plays. Mal Cross has been lighting up the Great White Way for about 6 years now with his street performing antics. Antics which leaves them rolling in the gutter, shall we say. I hope you're not offended.
Standing room only.
Standing room, right. We are delighted that he's wandered up here today from Midtown to be with us. We'd like to welcome the greedy vagabond, as he is known, the Honorable Mal Cross. How are you doing?
Good morning,
Mal?
Judy.
I love your outfit, I must tell you.
Oh, thank you. Brooks Brothers.
Is it really?
Of course.
I like it, I like it. Listen, how did you get started doing this? How does one decide to be a street performer?
Well, I came from a rich family, and then all of a sudden there was no money. I know that's not an original story. It's happened to many people. But anyhow, my father lost all his money in the market and so on. Didn't know what to do, and I had heard that street performers were doing quite well in New York.
Right.
And that you go out and you entertain for about 5 minutes, and you make a collection, and you do one after the other, and you wind up with a lot of money and a lot of fun. And I knew I'd be good at it, because for 5 minutes I've always been the greatest. So there you have it.
I know the feeling.
Yeah.
The rest of it.
Oh. Sorry to hear that.
You are.
We all have problems, but yeah.
You're in the area of the Shubert Theaters. That's
yes.
where you operate.
Yes.
Now, how did you decide that would be your turf, or is that your turf?
Well, it is my turf indeed. I understood that the theater clientele would be mostly adults. They'd probably be well-heeled. They'd probably have taste. And I'd heard about this chap, Richard, you know, the greedy violinist, Richard Wexley.
Oh, yeah, we had him on. He
oh,
the
sure.
chutzpah where teachers.
The chutzpah. He's got
right.
chutzpah.
Right.
He's got chutzpah. And, of course, with his chutzpah, he's done very well, Richard. He's made a lot of money. He's had a lot of fame. Of course, he has no friends. He considers me his best friend, and I hate him. So I just want to point...
That's not a good sign.
Just kidding, Richard. So I met Richard. I went down there. I'd seen Richard playing in front of Candide at the Broadway Theater. His violin case was just loaded with gelt or cash or money.
Yes.
And we got friendly. And rather than an intrusion on Richard's turf, because nobody else was doing it, just Richard. I don't know how he kept it to himself all those years. Other street performers were faltering in the wind on street corners and subway stairs, but Richard had the theater section, the Majestic, the Shubert, the Broadhurst. It's like a gold mine, you know.
That's right.
So you decided to cut in on it.
You bet I did. I went down there. He didn't take well to me at first, Richard, but very soon we started to just cultivate the entire neighborhood and become very powerful together.
Let's do something right now. Those who've not seen you perform, he just doesn't stand around this outfit, folks, to collect the money. He actually does something else. And we have a videotape report right now, or a videotape that's going to show what Mal does down there.
Young lady, would you be my assistant? A round of applause for my lovely assistant. Good afternoon. What is your name?
Janet Levitt.
Janet. Good morning. I'm Mal Cross, Janet.
Good morning,
Would you put
Janet.
both hands out like so? I'd like you to meet a dear friend of mine. Say good afternoon to Romeo.
Hello, Romeo.
And of course, wherever Romeo goes, so goes... Oh, I love a cultured crowd. You know, I do. Juliet, indeed. Now, I'm going to tell you all the true story of Romeo and Juliet. One evening, Romeo said to Juliet, I love you madly. We've just spent 3 dynamite nights at your apartment. But tonight I must go home. I'll be back tomorrow. Wait for me. So Romeo here went home to his place. I'd like you to hold on to Juliet tight, just as I have Romeo, and don't let me get her out because I'm very quick. Tight. Got it? Romeo got home, had some supper, read a little poetry, Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. He was quite fond of Chaucer, and was about to retire for the evening when he realized he could not get through the night without Juliet. Do you know that feeling? This is off the record, of course.
Off the record.
Indeed. So Romeo left his place in the middle of the night quite invisibly like so. Would you blow on that? Romeo. Did you feel anything? Would you open your hand? A round of applause for my beautiful assistant. Take a bow, my dear. I thank you so much. And now for my greatest trick. It's called the collection trick. I have an empty hat. The trick is to make some money appear and the audience not disappear. Thank you. Don't go away, Oz. Thank you. 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 Yeah, you were great. You were dynamite, but we still want to get some money out of you. Thank you.
Oh, man. Did you ever see Romeo and Juliet?
Yes.
Juliet.
Thank you, Julie.
There's Juliet.
Thank you all. Thank you all. You were just great. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you all. You were marvelous. You're the best crowd I had all week, I swear. You were just fabulous. I thank you. You were darling, I swear. I loved every bit of it. I loved it. Bye-bye. Bye. This is great. We've got to go around the corner. We want to do Agnes of the Gods. Thanks a lot. We've got another intermission in about a minute and a half, folks, but I appreciate it. You were fabulous. See you around. Okay, we want to go around the corner now to Agnes of the Gods. We've got another intermission, Charlie.
You're shameless. You're absolutely shameless.
How many of those do you do a day?
Only 5.
Oh, that's a lot of hard work. Any difference between the matinee audiences and the evening audiences?
The matinee audience has no idea. They can't comprehend the situation at all.
Really?
Yeah, we get the ladies with the blue hair, and they come out, and they look at me, and they don't really get it. At nighttime, it's dark.
Right.
And the people come out, I don't care if they just got here from Mars. They see me outside with my little table, and they instinctively know why I'm there.
Oh, my sense of magic. Now, listen, we're going to ask you to do something a little unusual. You never actually get to see the shows inside, do you? You're working the streets.
The intermissions.
But you have a very good sense of what the shows are just from working the streets
right.
outside of them. So we're going to ask you for your street-side review of some of the big shows on Broadway right now.
That's right, fairly quickly, too. 42nd Street.
42nd Street is it. That's the hot show. That's the one that's got the hot chemistry, the hot vibes. The people there are dressed to the hilt. They just pitch the money at you. They come out of there. They're just euphoric. They love the show. Don't miss it.
Amadeus.
Amadeus is doing very well. They're sold out 2-3 nights a week now, and there seems to be a general feeling tone at Amadeus that they're with the Lofty show, the stagehands backstage and so forth. They let you know, well, we're with Amadeus. You know, we're not commercial. We're
That's right.
we're arty.
The long runner chorus line.
That's the plum. That's the plum of the whole theater district. I have friends who have seen that 6 times. They're not in show business. They've seen it 6-8 times. That is the pride and joy.
But if they see a show 6 times, that means they're not going to give you much money, so it's a bad show to work on.
Well, I hate to bring up a sore subject, but
I mean, I just thought
And we didn't
they
ask
have
you
no
how much.
intermission, of
We
course.
didn't ask you how much money you make, Mal.
I'm glad you didn't. What do you mean?
We'll be back. Stay with us. All right, we're on. Mal, tell us where you can be seen.
In the winter, it's so cold, you can't play the street.
No, I go indoors. I'm appearing at the Magic Townhouse on 3rd Avenue every weekend for the next couple of months. I'll be in town. I'm available for parties and functions and so forth. You can reach me at the Magic Townhouse, and I appreciate being with both of you so much.
Oh, thanks
that's
for being here
terrific.
today.
I'm so glad
Always
you're
a
here.
pleasure.
Thank you,
Always a
Doug.
pleasure.
Okay, and the IRS does not watch
No.
the show, so don't worry.
No, I got a letter from them, and I told them the only time I declare anything is when I'm with a Southerner.
Anyway, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, overweight kids, how to buy a pet and computer, fashion. So join us and have a wonderful day.
Wardrobes for Doug and Judy by Gimbels.